Good Monday morning. I don't know if you all feeling it, but I'm sure feeling it today. It is Monday, and it looks like we're going to start what looks to be a pretty dry and hot week. We're expecting to see temperatures up around 90 degrees pretty much every afternoon and through the weekend as well. Now, our average temperature this time of year is right at 90, so will be pretty typical for this time of year. We'll see those temperatures in the 90s for highs, and then morning lows will be right near 70, at least the next couple of mornings. A little warmer than that, though, as we head towards the weekend. And we'll show you all that complete 7-day forecast coming up here in just a little bit. This is our stream we do every morning around 10 o'clock. We'll do it for about 15 minutes or so, just kind of give you a look at what's going on weather-wise across the area, kind of a slow, detailed look at what's going on instead of a quick 2-minute forecast like we typically do in newscasts. So we'll just continue to trot through this next 15 minutes and show you what's going on as far as the weather in southeast Texas. But meteorologist Jeff Gerber here at 12 News. Quick look at the rest of the day forecast, just in case you tuned in to take a quick look at what's going on. And we have about a 20% chance of a couple of showers, isolated thunderstorm flaring up as we go through this afternoon. It's not going to be a big deal if you have outdoor plans you're trying to get done, maybe working in the garden, something like that, a construction project or something like that. I wouldn't cancel any of those plans, but you might run into a quick shower, a quick downpour that moves through the area. Generally, everything's been moving north to south, so kind of keep an eye on the northern sky as far as looking for some showers to kind of move in. If you start to see the skies maybe darken a little bit to the north, then you might want to jump on the 12 News Now app, check the radar, and see if you have a shower close by. By 6 o'clock, things should be calming down. Temperatures still in the middle 80s by 6. It's going to be a warm evening, especially if you go out and do some exercising right after work. It's going to be warm. It's going to be very humid. Plan to have some water with you to keep hydrated. And by 10 o'clock, looking at mostly clear skies as temperatures drop back down into the 70s, right around 77. All right, let's take a look at a few sky cams across southeast Texas and, of course, southwest Louisiana. Generally looking at partly cloudy skies across the area. Of course, this one's over towards Lake Charles. You can see the I-210 bridge south of Lake Charles there over the water, the lakes area there in Lake Charles. Our Roofing 911 live Skycam network, and conditions are pretty quiet over there. As we head right here to our 12 News studio, we got our camera facing east or downtown. You can see downtown Beaumont right here, and generally just partly cloudy skies for us. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, and not too much going on out there for this morning. We did have some showers, a few thunderstorms across the lakes area earlier this morning, but none of those reached all the way down here into the triangle. They mainly stayed to our north. Maybe a couple of showers just north of Orange early this morning, but there wasn't a whole lot of rain there. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network right now just showing partly cloudy skies here in Beaumont and pretty much across the entire area. Rainfall amounts this morning were anywhere from like a quarter of an inch to a couple isolated spots, almost about an inch of rain. One of the places that did get a little bit more in the way of rainfall than in most places is Jasper. Jasper picked up, I think, over half an inch of rain this morning. Here's the view from right across the street from the Jasper County Courthouse. This is actually on the Provalis building. Provalis sponsoring this camera on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And you can see maybe a few more clouds up in the Jasper area. We could almost call that mostly cloudy skies, as a few cars out there on the roadways in Jasper. Not too much traffic as we look off towards the east once again from this camera view. All right, let's take a look at temperatures right now. And generally, we're just now making our way up into the 80s. Orange, though, well up into the 80s, about 88 degrees. Here in Beaumont, we're at 83, and then Port Arthur right in the middle 80s, about 85. As we head up towards Jasper, 81. Woodville's at 82. Kirbyville, 80 or 78. Not sure if that one's updated as yet. I would imagine probably pretty close to 80 degrees as well there. And then Silsbee currently at about 82. Hey, I want to point out, you can text me at the number there on the bottom of your screen, 409-749-9302. If you got any outdoor activities you're thinking about this week, you want to know what the weather's going to be doing, text me there, and here during our stream, a little bit later on towards the end of our stream, I'll answer questions if we have any text messages. So once again, that's 409-749-9302. And if you don't have any questions right now, go ahead and write that number down. And if you can think of anything over the next I don't know, a couple of days or whatever, go ahead and text that number and we can answer those either here in our live stream, or we can just text you back from the phone that goes to and give you an answer to what your question is. So you can either do it now, which we would prefer. We can answer your question here shortly, or you can do it later on, and we'll try to get to that as soon as we can, definitely by this time tomorrow for sure. But yeah, generally temperatures right now into the 80s, anywhere from lower 80s through Silsbee and Beaumont, Woodville, to upper 80s in Orange. I think that Orange thermometer has been running a little warm lately. It seems like it's a good, gosh, 4 degrees or so above everyone else constantly. So I don't know. Weather Service might have to look at that thermometer over there. All right, our radar is very quiet right now. This is the radar over the last 3 hours, and there's not much going on. Very quiet, and not expecting too much here throughout the rest of the morning. But as we get into the afternoon, we could see a couple isolated showers here and there. Here's current radar from Lake Charles, and it's the one that covers our area, and it's just quiet out there. So no problems. If you're running any errands this morning, got to go out and do some activities outside, have no problems as far as running into any active weather. As we look across the state, there is some active weather, especially out in West Texas, around the Big Bend area, back towards El Paso. They've been seeing some scattered showers out there for this morning. Have a stationary front that's going right down through the state. Area of low pressure pretty much over us and then back out into the Gulf of Mexico. This area of low pressure is what kicked off those showers and thunderstorms this morning towards the lakes area. And it could continue to kick off a couple of showers as we head towards this afternoon. Like I said, we're watching to our north. You can see these showers and thunderstorms up towards the Red River Valley. They're working their way southward. Now, they're not holding together for very long, but they are kind of trying to push their way southward. So that's kind of the trend we're looking at for today, seeing if something develops across the area to our north and then kind of drifts its way off towards the south and east across southeast Texas. So right now things are pretty quiet, and we're expecting to see some active weather maybe this afternoon in the form of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Won't be a whole lot out there for today. Like I said, if you have any outdoor plans, go ahead and do those. As you look over towards Louisiana, things are quiet there. Oklahoma, Arkansas, everything looks pretty quiet. Let's take a look around the rest of the country since things are pretty quiet here. You can see area of low pressure across the desert southwest, spinning up some showers through New Mexico, back into parts of Arizona, Utah. Much needed rainfall over there. West Coast, though, is quiet. Nothing going on there. As you look across northern plains, seeing some rain. A few thunderstorms up into parts of the Dakotas for this morning, out towards Montana. And then as we look towards the Midwest, pretty quiet, not much going on through Chicago, St. Louis. And then the East Coast also looking pretty quiet, maybe a few showers up near Maine. And Florida. Florida's getting some rain and thunderstorms, so they're looking at some pretty active weather down there through the state of Florida, at least central to southern Florida, getting some rain for this morning. But most of the country, I think, pretty quiet. Like I said, we could see a couple of showers here or there. Our futurecast showing just a few showers through the afternoon, maybe overdoing it just a little bit with that 20%. We'll see temperatures climbing up to possibly 90 in some spots today, but generally most areas we're going to be into the 80s. Things should die down as we head towards this evening, and then overnight we're not expecting any rain. Matter of fact, most of the clear skies as we head through the overnight, as temperatures are going to be dropping back down into the lower 70s. As we get into tomorrow morning, we'll start there in the lower 70s and we'll warm up. We'll be up close to 90 again tomorrow afternoon. Little brief area of high pressure going to keep us nice and quiet tomorrow. I don't expect to see any rain for your Tuesday as we get those temperatures into the upper 80s. We do see that break down a little bit as we head towards Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and that will bring back about a 20% chance of a couple of showers here and there. Real quick look at our allergy report for today. Tree pollen is on the low side, medium for weed and also grass, and mold is on the high side. So about typical for what we've been seeing, kind of medium to low kind of thrown in there, and then we'll see a high here and there. So it's a typical allergy report. As we take a look at our coastal marine forecast for today, southeasterly winds at about 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet. Next high tide's at 10:50 this morning. Then we'll see another one tonight at 9:40. Our sunrise at 6:15 this morning. We'll see that again tomorrow morning. Then our sun sets at 8:13. Water temperature there at 82. Winds are not too bad off Texas Point, generally out of the southeast at about 10 miles an hour. Look for just a light chop on the inland lakes and bays for today. So let's run down your forecast for today. Partly cloudy, 20% chance of maybe a few showers. That's going to be generally mid to late afternoon. We're going to see those highs upper 80s, pretty close to about 90 degrees with southeasterly winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, no rain expected through the overnight. We'll have southeasterly winds at 5 to 10, and temperatures will be falling back down into the lower 70s, right near 70 degrees in places like Jasper, Newton, and Burkeville. Now you head down closer towards the coast, say Winnie, Sabine Pass, you're looking at about 75, 74, and then inland southeast Texas, generally about 72, 73, somewhere in that range. And when we talk about inland southeast Texas, we're talking about Hardin County and then southern parts of Jasper and Newton County. So that's inland southeast Texas. Around the triangle is, of course, the triangle, and then the lakes area is everything up towards Tyler County and the northern parts of Jasper and Newton County. All right, our 7-day forecast showing for dry weather on Tuesday. And then we see a string of days, Wednesday through Friday, where we could see a couple of showers here and there. Not a big deal as far as the rain, kind of like today, a few pop-up showers here and there. You do notice the general trend is showing temperatures starting to climb a little bit. We're up into the lower 90s as we head towards Thursday, Friday, and then into Saturday and Sunday as well. We'll see temperatures climbing up there into around 92, 93. So it's going to be very, very, I don't say very hot, because really very hot's reserved for when we hit the lower 100s for maybe later this summer. But it's going to be hot. So make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you take time and give yourself some breaks into the AC if you can. Just be careful out there in the heat. Heat index probably be getting close to 100, even though the temperatures are going to be back down into the lower 90s. So let's once again go take a quick look outside. We're getting ready to wrap up here in just a few minutes. If you have a question, you haven't texted it, like I said, we're going to wrap up here in just a few minutes. You can text it real quick. Looking at the phone now, that gets our text messages, and don't see anything on there right now, but that's fine. Like I said, outside we're looking at partly cloudy skies and quiet conditions. If you have any plans to go, to do something later on this evening, once again, temperature is going to still be warm as we head towards the early evening hours. So make sure you stay hydrated if you're going to be outside for this evening. A lot of folks like to work out after work, head to a hike and bike, a walking path, something like that. Make sure you stay hydrated there. Also, kids are out of school. If they're in the pool, make sure they're hydrated as well. Even though they're swimming, they're surrounded by water, you still need to get water inside you, even though that you're going to be out in the pool. So make sure the little ones out there have water, not soda pop or something like that. Water is the best thing to hydrate you. Matter of fact, if you can get some water, a little salt in that water, a little electrolytes, that's a good thing as we look out and you see pretty quiet conditions across the entire area for this Monday morning. One quick look again at the 7-day forecast, and you can see not much going on this week. So these streams every morning around 10 o'clock are going to be interesting as I find ways to talk for 15 minutes like this morning. Once again, I'm looking at our messages. There's no messages, so a lot of people have questions about the weather when the weather is real quiet like this. But as we look at our 7-day forecast one more time, upper 80s, lower 90s through the next 7 days. Lows will be in the lower to middle 70s.